We are Team Mixthesia, an exploratory project focused on discovering intuitive interactions in virtual reality that introduce musicians to sound mixing tools and concepts. Sound mixing is an arcane craft performed in closed-off rooms for extended periods of time through a traditionally complex interface. By prototyping different visualizations and interactions, the project aims to take a step within the VR sound mixing space to demystify the craft by avoiding the complex interface of a DAW or digital audio workstation.
We decided that virtual reality would be the best medium to demystify sound mixing to newcomers because of its heightened feeling of presence compared to traditional 2D screens. Based on our personal anecdote, as well as talking to industry professionals who have taught sound mixing, we learned that a common way of learning sound mixing is to imagine certain visualizations. So we decided to leverage these visualization in the learning process by placing the guest in the same physical space. And this feeling of being in the same physical space as the music can help the guest to understand and to help them picture how the sound is being changed while they are manipulating those tools.
For each of our prototypes, our design process began by interviewing novice musicians for their pain points on the specific tool we're prototyping in VR. We then moved to interviewing industry professionals to get their feedback on our high-level design for the tool. Prototyping the tool in VR came next, implementing any tweaks based on the feedback we received from the interviews. We ended our process with playtesting our experience with a mix of novice, non-musicians, and industry professionals. All feedback and iteration ideas we received from the playtest are noted in our documentation to inform future developers on how the design can be improved.
Throughout our development during the semester, we were able to create 4 different prototypes that were tackling multiple concepts. The first one that we created was for volume and panning. We created what we called a track field where the guests can place the track represented as an orb on this field, which controlled both panning and volume at the same time. And we chose volume and panning since these were one of the fundamental elements for mixing. We then created a prototype for reverb where we placed the guests in the space itself, allowing them to manipulate the space and hear back what happens to the audio in real time. We then moved on to automation. We wanted to draw the analogy of animating in 3D and take it to the audio world, and we created the automation prototype building on top of our track field where guests can actually record the animation in real time and listen back to it. Lastly, we built a prototype for equalization where we wanted to show the guest what it means to adjust equalization on a track in context of other tracks and help them better understand what happens in a mix when you're affecting equalization of a particular track.
Our project is a stepping stone into what we believe is a potentially strong space to teach newcomers these tools and concepts. So we shared our findings with the audio and virtual reality development community. We uploaded all our documentation, postmortems and prototypes online and onto multiple forums. We uploaded our project onto GitHub so that it would serve as a launchpad of sorts for future developers to continue these explorations.
So this project was a very interesting project for me. It was great to see ideas talked about and brought to life and put in use in the real world. And you guys did an excellent job. It turned out to be a very useful, what I would consider to be a very useful tool for beginners and some more advanced people as well.
I see the potential of this as the next iPhone for the mixing world.